Hello, welcome back to WrestleChats with Sharpy and Ray. Ray, how are you?
I'm fantastic, brother. How are you?
Good, man. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this one.
Absolutely Sharpy, for sure.
Breaking the fourth wall here. It is October, so do forgive us if any of these predictions are horrendously out of date or bad. But today we are discussing the Royal Rumble pay-per-view coming up in the 1st of Feb.
Woo-hoo!
Can't wait.
WrestleChats with Sharpy and Ray.
Can't wait for this.
Pumped for the Rumble already. Absolutely
Is it your
pumped.
favourite pay-per-view every year?
Well, I mean, you can't turn down WrestleMania.
You can't.
Because WrestleMania 24 with Cody, with Roman, the most emotional roller coaster that we went on with a main event match in such a long time. I'm going to say it's very close in par with WrestleMania when WrestleMania is just that little notch above it. Because WrestleMania is just that more money behind it, I think you'd want to say.
It's my favourite.
And I was just about to ask you, Sharpy, you were keen on jumping in there.
to.
I knew you were.
I love it. It's the best. The reason I think it's the best is because it's the anticipation of it. Mania, there is that anticipation too, but you know what you're going to get. With the Rumble, it's like, who's going to win?
Who's win?
Coming back?
How are we going
What's
to do
going
it?
to happen?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just that unless there's the very rare occasions where it is extremely obvious who's going to win. Like sometimes you do get that, man, we know.
Yeah.
We know Drew's probably going to win this
Yeah,
one. You know what I mean? Or like, never saw Edge winning it in COVID lockdown and stuff like that.
I
that.
think
like
you did predict that.
I think I did.
So, guys, throughout the years, myself and Sharpy have always caught up. We've always done Royal Rumbles. We've always done Royal Rumble predictions. We've always had our predictions up, and I think you have lost
3 or 4 in a row.
I think Sharpy's just being modest there, guys. Sharpy's got every single one. He's called it every single year. I've never got anything. Lost many cartons of beers to the guy for his predictions that he's got right every single time. So I know you're trying to be modest there.
I don't remember this year, though.
Changing the conversation right about now about how many wins you've got in life, Sharpy. So can we just go on Royal Rumble? Is there any Royal Rumbles that you can remember which you loved? Me, I watched one only the other day. I know one straight off the top of my head.
Ones we've watched together?
Just throughout the years of us being into WWE, into the industry.
I think the ones that we watched together, I'll do 2. The ones that we watched together and my all-time favourites.
Yeah.
I think the ones that we watched together, the first one we did together, like 2018 or 17, when Nakamura won.
Yeah, that was a good.
I enjoyed that so much just
Yep.
because like it was our first time watching it together. And I didn't get to watch too many live wrestling shows then.
Yes.
So watching that together and like us watching Sheamus get eliminated after 2 seconds.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be.
That was amazing
that
because we
doesn't
were
need to
like,
be
we're like, he's
over.
here, he's gone. Oh my God, he's gone.
What just happened?
Coming down to Nakamura and Roman at the end, and everyone's like, oh, Roman's going to win, and then Nakamura does.
Yep.
As bad as that run for Nakamura turned out, it was so good, that Rumble. So watching that one together was probably one of my favourites.
And just to interrupt you for a second, I am a Sheamus guy, so probably one of my worst Royal Rumbles right there to see Sheamus get eliminated so quickly, and Sharpy's very quick to bring that up from time to time.
Probably this year. We watched it together this year as well, didn't we? Yeah,
Yes, we did. Yeah.
This year's was good too.
Very good.
But you got the feeling Punk was hurt, and that kind of dampened it a little bit.
Did. Yeah.
But my all-time favourite, I've got 3. 2003.
Okay.
Because Rob Van Dam was like the Iron Man in that match.
Yeah.
He came out at like 13 and was in the final 4.
Okay.
And it was just, I don't know, just good. Like Lesnar won it, but you had The Undertaker, you had like Kane, you had Jericho, you had Van Dam, you had like Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, a few crappy entrants in there as well, but there's always like that every year.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the other ones that I really enjoyed. Probably 2007, the one The Undertaker won, and it came down to Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and they had like 10 minutes at the end together. I was like, who is going to win this?
Yeah, back and forth.
That was probably one of my favourites. And then the other one was probably 2012, the one that Sheamus won.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of like legends that came back for it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I think for me, I only watched it just the other day because I keep going over it, was 20.
It was Edge, when Edge came back.
No, sorry, 2019, when Drew McIntyre won it. 2020. Thank you very much. It was
That was
2020.
when Edge returned, and you called it. We were watching it at your house that year.
That we were.
And you were like, Edge is coming out. And then it was like, you
Yeah.
think you know me. You did not just call that.
Yeah.
We were also a bit sad because Kobe died that morning.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a downer.
That was a bit of a downer.
But that was unreal when you're like, Edge. And I was like,
Yeah.
no way,
Yeah,
you just
that was
called that.
great. But I think the one memory that I've always got locked into my brain is when, I think it was Ricochet got up, low-blowed Brock Lesnar, who just dominated the first 13 people.
Yep.
Even Sheldon Benjamin, they came out, they hugged, and they said, you know, it's great to see you.
Yep.
They lined up to get the next person coming out. Big Brock Lesnar just throws Sheldon straight over the top rope. You were just like, what is this man absolutely dominating and doing? For then Ricochet to get up and low blow him. Drew McIntyre comes and claymores him over the top.
And Lesnar sells it so good.
So well, just throws himself.
And the crowd just like,
crazy
shit. Yeah.
for Drew McIntyre to then eliminate Ricochet and then go back and still keep staring at Brock Lesnar, set up that WrestleMania. Unfortunately, COVID hit, so McIntyre didn't get his big pop, which he unbelievably deserved. How well McIntyre sold that Brock Lesnar. Drew McIntyre was just fantastic. Just saying it gave me goosebumps just then. How well the Claymore got sold was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely
Lesnar's
awesome.
Such a good sell.
Such a good sell.
I rate him so highly, and I do miss his wrestling. I don't miss him like holding the world title hostage a lot, but like I'd love to see him versus Gunther and stuff like that. I just think there's so many matches nowadays because he's been out of it for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
So many more matches that he could do.
I mean,
now.
I would like to see, because he is my guy, I would like to see Bron Breakker versus Brock Lesnar, because even though Bron Breakker would get suplex city'd a lot, I think Bron would still get up and spear him out of his boots. And I think someone who knows the industry as well as Brock Lesnar would sell for the young guy an awful lot. It's a dream match of mine to have Brock Lesnar versus Bron Breakker. But, I mean, I'm all about Bron Breakker trying to get behind him. So, in saying that, guys, moving on, if we can, to our predictions for 2020.
Also, actually, hold that thought. We've just listed our favourite Rumbles, but give me your favourite women's Rumble. Or your favourite winner.
Yeah, I think all of them are pretty cool in what they're bringing. I think last year's Women's Royal Rumble, or maybe the year before, don't quote me on this, had so much more excitement to it. When I know one of the years it did fall a little bit flat, and I know the women's was absolutely through the roof.
Rhea Ripley won, I reckon.
Did she? Was that it then?
Yeah.
Yep. So I know it was, but for me, the Women's Royal Rumbles, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, sorry, Sharpie, it was definitely a standout over the men's.
Bailey's this year was good.
Bailey's was great.
I love
was
Bailey,
great.
and she deserved it. And the other one for me was Rhea's. I thought Rhea's was phenomenal. She came in at like 13 and just eliminated everybody.
Everyone.
Smashed it.
Just carved
them. It came down to her and Charlotte, and she finally got rid of Charlotte. I was like, thank God.
So was that last year's or the year before? Okay.
It might have been last year. She had it for a year and then got injured, so maybe it was last year.
Okay.
Yeah, she went Mania to Mania.
Yeah.
So yeah, a year. Last year was Rhea.
Yep. Okay, well there you go. So I think it's fair to say that Women's Royal Rumbles are only getting better and better when Men's Royal Rumbles have been going on for, I'm going to say, decades now.
Yeah, 1980 something.
There you go, decades right there. So it's easy enough to say that the Women's Royal Rumble has only been going on for the last 5 or so years.
Like
2018, there you go, 5 or 6 years, and they only seem to be getting better and better.
Yep.
So for me, I would probably say my most favourite Women's Royal Rumble is going to be 2025.
Yeah, good answer.
Throwing that out there.
Answer.
What do you guys think? Actually, just before I ask Sharpie the exact same question, Women's Royal Rumble, what's the most favourite one that you guys have seen? The favourite winner that you guys have seen as well?
What
Please
about
leave a
also
comment
favourite
below.
moments like Naomi, like living to fight another day with some of the spots that she's done, or like favourite returns, like I think this year Jordan Grace coming from TNA.
Oh,
that gave me
so
goosebumps,
good.
man.
Yeah,
I was like, I love
absolutely.
her. She's
Yep.
jacked. She's gonna smash people.
Beth Phoenix came in, split the back of her head open, and still kept wrestling as well. A lot of great moments. Please leave your comments below, guys. But I'm gonna ask you the exact same question, Sharpie. The Women's Royal Rumble, which one was your favourite? Rhea Ripley. There you go. All right. So now that we've talked about the Women's Royal Rumble, let's just get straight into it. Predictions for 2025 Women's Royal Rumble. Who do you think it would be?
Hard because we're still 5 months.
Who I did say early on, which I just want to throw in there, and that was Tiffany Stratton. I believed that 24, 25 was going to be Tiffy's year, to have Tiffy time. But with her win the Money in the Bank, I'm not too sure now.
She could be the world champion going in at the Rumble, so who knows?
She could cash in and lose and then still be. Who knows?
My question to you is, we've had Cody win it 2 years in a row. Does, not necessarily 2 years in a row, but does Rhea win it again? She had her title ripped away from her. She can't seem to beat Liv. Does she have one more match with her? And then it's like, if you lose again, you don't get another shot.
Yeah.
And then she's stuck. And then the only way she gets another shot is by winning the Royal Rumble again.
Which would be great because Mami is over.
So much. She's the hottest, not literally, well, she is, but she's like the most hyped at the moment women's wrestler in
The world. Absolutely in the world. And just shout out to Rhea Ripley as well. Another Adelaide
legend.
girl. So when she comes out to the ring, they say she's from South Australia, Adelaide, South Australia. It's so good that a girl from little old South Australia is doing it on a world stage week in, week out.
Unbelievable.
Making our little tiny state look good. We're SA boys ourselves, so it's fantastic to see. Will Mami win it 2 years? Not 2 years in a row, but 2 years. Very high possibility there, Sharpie. It's great.
It's hard because I'm umming and ahhing. Like, Becky's retired, right? Becky's done. Charlotte's coming back.
At some stage there. I still hear that she's still injured.
She's won a Royal Rumble as well.
And she's headlined WrestleMania copious amounts of times.
So...
She is, to me, she is the GOAT in women's wrestling.
Yes, I'd agree with
100%. I'm looking forward to her coming back. But does she deserve a Royal Rumble win when she's only going to come back for a couple of months?
I'm happy for her to come back and dominate.
Yes.
But
not win.
Come back, eliminate 10 chicks.
Yep.
That's fine. Look like a megastar. Maybe eliminate, I don't know, say Nia Jax loses her title. Rhea can't win the title, loses her chances. That's the only way she gets a shot.
Okay.
I can't think of anybody else.
Well, so here's something that I want to throw at you, Sharpie, and all of you guys out there is there's been only a couple of times that they have brought in people from NXT or rookies and really given them a push straight off the bat. So then do you bring someone in from NXT, like a women's champion from NXT? Do you then bring in someone who hasn't been in the game for a very long time as a face of the company, but has still got a legendary legacy status like a Trish Stratus, and bring her in? Because we know that she could be in the main event of WrestleMania because she's been in the spotlight for however many years. So then do you put that win on her
and she can still
give her camera time when she could still go too?
Yeah.
She could still go. She's in phenomenal shape. So you could still do that.
What's your prediction?
To me, and something that I've wanted for a very long time, and I hope they do it, and I'm hoping that they do this, but I don't think it's going to happen, is Shayna.
Yes.
I want them to
please
give Shayna a push.
Turn her into an absolute psycho, just tapping chicks out again, left, right, and center. Shayna Baszler, please give her a go.
Shayna Baszler, guys.
If not this year, put her in the Rumble, let her eliminate the record number, and then you've got a chick that's just an absolute killer.
Badass, absolutely. Shayna Baszler, he used to train with Ronda Rousey. Another name I don't really want to talk about, but she used to train with Ronda Rousey. She's got fighting skills behind her. She just needs that push, and she is a Triple H girl because she was the first NXT women's title holder. So I really want them to give her a push, and I've said this for years and years now to do so. In saying that, do I think they're going to give her the win? No, I don't think they are. I think it's going to come down to a Rhea Ripley. I'm hoping not, but Charlotte Flair, maybe a Liv Morgan, give Bayley another one. Naomi, I don't think will get it. Or one other lady, which may get it because she's so good behind the camera. We did see just the other night on SmackDown that she was fantastic in a dumpster match as well. So maybe they'll also give it to
Chelsea Green. I don't think they will, but God, I would love to see that.
Moving on, I think we should move
Money
on
in the
just
Bank
from that.
25. If Chelsea Green does not win, I will be pissed.
Absolutely, yeah. She needs a push.
Has to win.
She
She's
needs
fantastic.
a push. She's putting in the work.
She's the perfect, like, annoying little scared shitless bad guy. Like,
Yes.
She's the perfect Money in the Bank holder.
She's got
Tiffy right now is doing it good.
Great.
Chelsea next year will do it better.
Even better, yeah. And she's got Piper behind her. Piper is quite a larger than life lady to be the bodyguard-esque to Chelsea Green. I'm not going to say it like that. To Chelsea Green to protect her in these moments where it's going to get close to her being beaten. Yep. Piper then comes in.
Drag her out the ring, look after her.
Yeah, or Piper comes in with a couple of body slams. It only makes sense to me that they do give it to her. So, as in a prediction, It's either going to be one of the three for me. It's either going to be Rhea Ripley, who I can see them giving it to her, and being an SA girl, I want them to give it to her.
Again.
The other one would be Shayna Baszler, because I really want them to give it to her because she deserves it. And the third one is, and I'm not going to say it the way that you want me to say it,
Do it.
Chelsea Green. I couldn't do it. That's why I didn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Chelsea Green.
God. All right, Sharpie. So your prediction was?
I'm going to go Rhea Ripley, my number one. And again, we will do more predictions much closer to the Royal Rumble beforehand.
Sure.
But at this stage, Rhea Ripley, I don't see Bayley winning it again. I don't see Becky coming back. I'm going to go Charlotte number 2.
Yeah.
And then my dark horse, who they're grooming to be a megastar, Jade Cargill.
Oh.
But I don't know if she's ready.
Forgot about her, eh? Yeah.
I would be happy for her to win the 26 Rumble if she's still there.
Okay,
Give her
and she
another
was
year.
my pick, I think, from this year too.
Yeah.
And then she fell a bit flat.
She came in the Rumble and performed really well. She looked really good. Eliminated Nia Jax by herself.
Yes.
That was unreal. Huge pop from the crowd.
Huge. Yep.
I think if they can continue to build her over the next 4 months.
Yep.
But I just don't know if she's ready yet. Another year in there,
it's
and then she'll be good to go.
There's been a few instances where she's just really, I think,
Just got to
you can
work on the
only say
mic. She's a bit awkward still. She doesn't obviously feel comfortable yet.
Yep.
And then obviously just some of the stuff in ring, she's got a bit of a lead in her. She's just got to get a bit more.
She needs to just.
She doesn't have the proper athleticism that like Naomi and Bianca Belair do.
Yeah.
They're bouncing all over the ring.
Yep.
I feel like you can get away with Jade wrestling as more of a powerhouse.
Yes.
She doesn't have to do what they do.
Not at all.
But don't try and do a top rope springboard and then fall over.
Yeah,
Just don't do it. Play
it's
it
just
safe.
there's no need for it. And then I think it really shows that the pros have been doing this for years. If they do a botch in the ring, they tend to get out of it quite quickly.
Like Rhea today, they slipped and she turned it into a quick kip up, and no one in the crowd even knew it was a
Even
stuff
did
up.
anything.
Oh, no, that's fine.
And I think that Jade just, once that happens, then she sort of
Rattled her.
stops and goes, what just happened? What's the next spot that I'm meant to be doing?
Yep.
Which is just still, I think she's just trying to like shake out the cobwebs, iron out all the creases that she's got in her actual career. But I do love that prediction though, Sharpie.
Yep.
That's your number 3.
That's my third pick.
I mean, it's a huge conversation to have because you've still got Bayley can be tied up in there, Naomi can be tied up in there, and not only
Bianca
that,
Belair, former
Bianca
winner.
Belair, which would be a WrestleMania match, I believe, in itself.
Her and Jade has to happen at some point.
Absolutely, and it should be a WrestleMania match
Yeah.
because it's worthy to do so.
Oscar will come back. You've got heaps of talented wrestlers. Jordan Grace will pop in again for sure.
Absolutely.
Roxanne
I
Perez
think
will
so.
pop up.
Yep.
We'll have maybe Cora Jade pop up. We'll have
Yep.
a bunch more chicks pop up from NXT.
Heaps more, yeah, heaps
A
more.
couple of legends will come back. Maybe Trish.
You can see Trish, yep.
It'll be very interesting to see.
There's going to be a few interesting names like Zoe Stark when she comes in there. Bit of a powerhouse.
Yep.
We've just seen the return today of Rodriguez.
Yep,
She's a
Raquel.
powerhouse too. She can
Big,
come
strong
back
one.
too.
Yep.
So there's a lot of names in there that could really help out the Women's Royal Rumble.
I like it.
But I still think that we're going to hold our predictions for today.
Yep.
And then they may change tomorrow. Who knows?
They may. We'll
Who
do another
knows?
predictions video much closer to the Rumble, but
Big time.
let's move on to the men's. Who wins? And I also want surprise entrance for the men's too.
Well, I'm going to go on surprise entrances first off, if I
like it.
can.
Yep.
I think one name that I threw out there last year, I'm
who
going
you're
to throw it
gonna
out
say.
there.
I
I
know
know
who
I'm
you're
going to
gonna
throw it
say.
out there again this year. Believe he's a part of a Legends contract, and that's Ken Shamrock.
Okay.
Ken Shamrock, I think he's going to
that's
make
not who I thought.
an entrance. I don't know if he's going to make a big impact, but I believe he will be a surprise entrance that's going to come in.
And then Brock Lesnar comes out afterwards and they have a face-off and everyone's like, oh my God.
I don't know if Brock's going to come back for the
he
Royal
won't.
Rumble.
No, he won't.
I don't think he'll come back for the Royal Rumble.
That would just be a cool face-off.
It would be a fantastic face-off, and Brock Lesnar's got a lot of good face-offs in his mix now. The more in his absence just creates more of a face-off of people that want to come back. And I shouldn't use this term, but I'm going to take on one of the final bosses in the WWE, because to me, Brock Lesnar is a boss-like. If you step up to the beast
Yeah, you gotta
and
be able
beat
to
him,
take him down.
you've cemented a lot in your career. Cody Rhodes just did it. It was a huge thing that got talked about for however long, months and months afterwards.
been
Brock
like
Lesnar
a
shaking your
year.
hands was the highlight of Cody Rhodes' career for however many weeks until he went on to the Roman thing. So for me, surprise entrances, I'm going to say it straight off the bat. Yeah, it's definitely Ken Shamrock.
Love it.
Okay. I think I want to hand that question on to you
Well,
next,
I've got
Sharpy.
one
Okay,
because
go for it.
there's been a few TNA people, obviously, on the women's side. There's been a few on the men's side too. And there's a guy that looks a lot like me, and his name is Joe Hendry. And he's going to pop up in the 25 Royal Rumble, and the whole stadium is going to be singing his song, and it's going to be the best thing ever.
I believe in Joe Hendry. So good. When
Can
he
you
came to
imagine his entrance,
NXT,
dude?
so good. I mean, there's so many moments that I want to see in the Royal Rumble alone. I'm a big fan of NXT. Someone that I want to see is Chase University. Chase U to come into the picture to do what he needs to do. If anybody that doesn't know Chase University, Chase has got a stomp where as he's stomping him on the ground, he says, "Give me a C. Give me a H." He goes all the way through it for Chase U. I could see him doing something like that and saying to the crowd, "And what does that spell? Chase U." And you've got nearly 30,000 people throwing up Chase U in the air, which is going to be insane.
I like it.
Going back to the moment, if I can, of a certain somebody that came out. And when they came out and they did the whole Adam Cole, baby! The whole arena yelled at the top of their lungs is a moment that still gives me goosebumps today. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that's what I want to see in this Royal Rumble more. I want to see more of the crowd getting involved. I want to see more of guys that aren't such big names but are known in the industry for having something catchy,
like cult followings,
to come in and do what they need to do. Yeah,
like
something
Hendry,
really
like
good.
Cole in the past. You've got guys that can pop up from anywhere nowadays. You know, you could have Ziggler pop back for one night. He's in TNA. You could have him pop back in.
There's another name that I want to throw in the mix of that with his entrance alone. I know you'll get the whole arena popping, but I'm going to save that name until a little bit later on.
Okay.
So I think in saying that, do we now move on to predictions?
Yep, go for it.
We
Who
do?
you think
Okay,
is
I'm
gonna
going to
win?
throw it to you first, Sharpy, because you always put it on me. So
All
your
right,
predictions. 3, if you may, please, sir.
Top 3 again.
Yeah.
All right, my number 1 pick is, it's hard, CM Punk. My number 2 pick, because I think they'll be the final 2 in the Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
And then
That's a very big possibility.
either one of those two, I feel like if Seth wins that title back or something happens, you could have Seth with Punk for a world title. You could have Punk and McIntyre for a world title. You could have McIntyre and Seth and Punk for a world title. You got those 3 that don't get along, and those promos they had on Raw were unbelievable. So those 3 are absolute money. My number 3, I'm stalling on it because I'm not sure.
So I'm going to cut in there while I can.
Go.
Because I've already know my number 3. So I'm going to say my number 3 right now because he is so over right now, but he is so over in NXT, and that's Trick Williams. Because Trick Williams, what he's doing with the NXT title is just changing it. He's just got the brand new NXT title over his shoulder, and then with that, trick, you know the whole crowd in that stadium is going to get behind him. He's young, he's athletic, he's got that trick knee. Everything that he brings to it only equals money. Now, Carmelo Hayes also does so, but if you're coming from NXT to win a Royal Rumble, that just elevates your game so much more.
That's never happened before either.
It has never happened
No
before.
NXT star has ever won it before.
And it's hard for the WWE to still find firsts because they've been doing this for so long before. They're having trouble finding it first. If you win the Royal Rumble but you don't have the NXT title, do you then cash that in on the NXT title? Well, someone's already done it before, so it's not a first anymore.
Yeah, Charlotte did that.
But coming from NXT to then win the Royal Rumble, that's never been done before. He's over. He's hot. He's young. The crowd are absolutely
And
behind
that's
him.
also like a natural way for him to elevate himself to the main roster.
Big
It's
time.
not just a draft thing. He actually earned it by winning the Royal Rumble.
That he did,
I think they should do that for Money in the Banks in the future too. You should have maybe 3 Raw superstars, 3 SmackDown, and maybe 1 or 2 NXT.
Thrown at NXT, which is great there. Absolutely great. So that's my pick number 3. I'm not too sure about my pick number 2. I am going to sit on that for a little while because my pick number 2, which I'd been saying for quite some months now, was Jey Uso. But with the IC title behind the guy, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
Now, I don't want to go down this line of Jey too much. Yeah, and
he was my pick for this year to win the
absolutely.
whole thing.
And I think I definitely agreed on you. We would talk about it, and time again would be like, we don't even need to talk about Rumble because LA Knight's going to win it. Well, have a look. They've chucked the title on him now. Do they then, once again, it's a first, make an Intercontinental champion win the Royal Rumble? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's still a first. So maybe they could do it. So for my number 2, it was Jey Uso, but number 2 right now, I'm just going to leave blank.
That's fair.
For my number 1 pick, I do have to agree with you here, Sharpie, and I think it is going to be CM Punk. And I think we need to elaborate and talk about that so much more. Why we already know. I'm not going to say a guessing. I think why we already know why CM Punk's going to win that Rumble. Yet, after we finish having this conversation, I'm just going to throw a complete curveball out there, which I think we need to save until later on of what we're going to say. But the reason why I think CM Punk's going to win it is because, 1, he got screwed over out of this Royal Rumble. 2, you can put him against Gunther, which he's already listed that he wants to go against. 3, he can go against Cody, because I want to see Cody against CM Punk so badly.
That
even
hype
without him.
before the Rumble this year between the two of them, like, I'm more Cody Rhodes than Cody Rhodes, and then Cody Rhodes saying, I'm more CM Punk than CM Punk. God,
so good.
That is, like, good shit.
So good.
That's good
like,
shit.
Sells itself, and they only had small interactions between each other.
Punk got hurt, and then that ended. It was just such
and
a
those
good...
small interactions is just something that just fed us. That little bit of a teaser, that little tiny bit of a teaser was something that fed us and something that I'm so looking forward to. So CM Punk, when he wins it, he's got so many opportunities to go against everybody else because CM Punk coming back has only really gone against, in a big, massive feud right now at the moment, Drew McIntyre. Quote me if I'm wrong here. Who was the other person he was going up against since being on his return? That was it.
He got hurt.
That was it.
He got hurt.
So for me,
McIntyre's it.
That's it. I mean, CM Punk's, even if you put a new belt on a new champ, CM Punk hasn't versed him yet in this decade.
The only person that he would have wrestled maybe would have been Cody Rhodes, and that would have been in 2009, 2010.
So there's just the endless list of
Rey Mysterio's the other one.
The endless list of who CM Punk can face is just huge. And he did fight against Dom as well.
And Seth Rollins.
And Seth Rollins. Yeah, okay. All right. Yep. But, I mean, coming back, he has gone against Dom.
Options.
But it was on a live match.
It was all like a warm-up match. It doesn't really count that much.
It wasn't much at all. Good on Dom, though. Good on Dominic.
Yeah, Dom's the best.
Yeah,
even though we hate him.
So that's my number 1. So please go on that if you can, please, Sharpie, because there's something that I want to throw a curveball in the whole mix of everything of 25, which is another episode in itself. But was there something you wanted to say there?
I will cry if Punk wins the Royal Rumble.
As in happy tears? Yeah, I know you probably will.
I'll be he's my boy.
He is.
Love him so much, and I always have, and I always will. So if he wins, that's like my number 1 dude winning the Rumble ever. Other than Van Dam winning.
I was about to say him and Rob Van Dam, but yeah.
But Van Dam won Money in the Bank, and then Punk did it twice.
So whatever. So now the curveball that I want to throw out there for you guys, which is the year 25, which is the year of John Cena's retirement. I mean, I think that throws a curveball out there for everything. Absolutely.
I feel like
everything,
an idiot that I didn't list him as number 3. I think that I'll have to.
I've still got my number 2 option open, but you really don't know what's going to happen. But guys, I'm not going to talk about John Cena in this episode.
We're going to save that for a full
John Cena has got his own episode because one of the GOATs in the industry, he deserves it.
He
deserves our time. He deserves
we're going to talk
everything
about
else.
what he's going to do for the whole year that he's with us and what he could do and what he should do.
He may do. What he does. I think we need to stop
Let's
it
talk
right
about it
there.
then. Let's talk
I
about
think
it
we
then.
need to stop it right there, Sharpie. We're going down a long,
Let us
long
know
road
in
of
the
John
comments
Cena.
below who is winning the men's and the women's Royal Rumbles and who are they going to pick to face. Thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun. We will do another version of this much closer to the Royal Rumble because there may be injuries between now and then, and it's still 4 or 5 months away. So, but very early predictor is always good.
Very early. It's always fun.
We can watch this back at some stage and be like, my God, we're idiots.
We were so far off.
We didn't know anything.
What were we thinking?
LA Knight's already the world champion. What are we talking about? So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let us know in the comments below. We will see you guys in the next Wrestle Chats. Goodbye for now.
Peace.
Wrestle Chats with Sharpy and Ray.